everyone, thank you for joining me for a brand new episode of Turn Up the Love Live. I'm Sarah Pettis, body positive intuitive eating coach and the founder of turnupthelove.ca, and I help serial dieters to ditch the diet cycle, reconnect with food, and come home to their bodies by using the power of self-love. And today we're kicking off December with a brand new topic because, we're already planted well into December, and I thought it would actually be a really great time to talk about all of the ways that we can work at eliminating holiday overwhelm by practicing mindfulness instead. Okay? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience over the holidays and how I've struggled with overwhelm for most of my life, even as a child, which is why this topic is so important to me, because that's not what the holidays are about. And I want to help you to get reconnected during this time of year so that way you can feel all the glitz and sparkle. Okay? So let's be honest. The holidays are a blast. They really are. They can be so much fun. But with this high demand of expectations and pressures, we can often feel that it's only leaving us feeling completely burnt out, emotionally depleted, and oftentimes this turns into us needing to fill ourselves back up by using food, right? So for the month of December, we're going to be taking our attention and putting it onto, rather than the overwhelm, but how to feel mindful this holiday season. And for this week, we're actually going to be starting off by talking all about how to balance the shoulds, the things you feel like you should be doing, with your own needs this holiday. All right, so thanks to everyone who's joining me live. If you're watching the replay, I hope that you'll get in on the conversation as well in the comments while you're watching, but I think that you're going to take away quite a lot today. So today we're also going to be chatting about why you have felt depleted and burnt out and maybe even a little bit resentful in past years while celebrating the holidays, and what you can actually do instead to avoid this. Okay? I also want to help you to get present and how you can actually do that in any given moment. Okay? Because I know we can become so disconnected this time of year with our long list of things that we need to do before the holiday season gets started. But let's be honest, the holiday season has started, because as soon as it hits December 1st, heck, as soon as it hits after Halloween, people already get into that holiday mindset, right? So I'm going to be sharing how you can get present in any given moment, and I think this is going to be so super helpful for you to help you tune in and get grounded and reconnected. Okay? And last but most importantly, I definitely didn't want to leave without giving you guys some tools or 4 things that you could actually do to be your best version of yourself this season, even amidst all the crazy cuckoo chaos. Okay? So before we get into this topic today, I want you to tell me, think about how you have felt during holidays in the past. Think about how you felt during past holidays and tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed or overwhelmed were you in past holidays? So 10 being stressed AF and 1 being chill as can be, super groovy. Scale of 1 to 10, drop me in the comments and let me know how you felt in past holidays. Okay, so when I asked myself this question, I immediately felt panicked, and I'm going to tell you why. Because other than last year, I think the only year that I didn't feel overwhelmed, chaotic, or stressed during the holidays is when I spent Christmas on the beach in Australia. Okay, so in Australia, there were hardly any holiday decorations at all in all the shops that I had been in. There was very minimal holiday music that was playing, and there was zero holiday baking that I had to participate in. And my housemates that I was staying with in Australia when I was backpacking there, they did not even have a tree or any decorations. Now, even though that I found that to be a bit extreme, because I really am a lover of the holiday spirit and the traditions of Christmas, I will say that the holidays still felt more enjoyable that year than they had in previous years. Okay? Can anyone figure out why that might be? Anyone tell me why that might have been? When I didn't have all this holiday stuff going on, even though I love the holiday glitter, I was still feeling like I was enjoying the holidays more than I had when I had been at home with my own family and friends and traditions. So I want to share this as well. So since I was a baby, literally an infant, okay, like a child, not even a year old, I split my Christmases up between my mom's and my dad's. Okay, because they were separated when I was really young, and they still are. So my whole life as a child, I would have to split my Christmases up between my parents, and that was really hard as a kid, right? Because I had siblings, and my siblings would, open up their gifts, and then they would get to play with all their new toys and their PJs all morning, just lounging around. They could slowly eat their breakfast, enjoying that, and they could just really just hang out and chill. And then there I was like, as soon as I opened all the gifts, then I had to like put them aside and go in the shower and get ready pack my bag before my dad came to pick me up. And I felt a lot of anxiety as a child going through that every year, right? And then even as I got older and I started dating my forever guy, we would travel to go see all of our family members. So to put that into context, we had 4 separate families that we had to see in one day. In one day, right? So we tried to do all of the things, and meanwhile, we were also working full-time. I was running my own weight loss clinic at the time, and I was starting up my business on the side, and my forever guy, he works crazy hours. He works like 50, 55-hour work weeks, so it was pure madness, right? But the point is I was actually pleasing everyone but myself. And I see some people have responded here in the comments. I'm just going to jump in there really quick. So Dawn had said she's about an 8 out of 10 on a scale of feeling chaotic during the holiday season. I so feel you, sister, as I'm sure you're hearing now. Rochelle says, good morning. Good morning, Rochelle. And she says, Christmas is hard for me because your mom passed on Christmas Eve 12 years ago, so it's hard to answer your question. Okay, so I'm sure there's a little bit of a mixed emotion there with your mom, which I know from chatting with you in the past. So it can be definitely challenging. And it is a time of you reflective of people who aren't joining you during the holiday season as well, right? So the holidays can definitely be challenging and chaotic and stressful, and you can feel all the feels during this time of year, right? And I also asked you guys the question of, okay, why do you think I was feeling less stressed when I was in Australia where there was no holidays and traditions? And Rochelle had said less buildup, and Dawn had said no pressure to eat. Right. So what it all really came down to, and you guys are pretty narrowed down, but what it was is that I was not in this place of people pleasing. Okay, because I didn't have other people to please. I didn't have the pressure to accommodate everyone but myself for the first time in my entire life because my family wasn't there. So I didn't have these places that I had to be or had to do all of the things, right? Because what had happened for me from the time that I was young and as I got older was that the holidays were just no longer fun anymore because of the burnout, because of the stress, because of the overwhelm, before they actually even got started, before the event actually even happened, right? Exactly. So there was not as much expectation. Okay, so that's why I was feeling less stress. And here's the thing, the holidays, they are supposed to be a time of joy. They are supposed to be a time of joy and reflection and a time to refresh before the year ahead, right? So that's why I wanted to create this series for the month of December, because I don't want you feeling how I did. Okay, so this is why we're going to be chatting about ways to get mindful before we get sucked into all of this holiday madness, all right? Because the holiday obligations, they can be important for sure, because we want to give back and we want to show up and contribute, but it is equally as important that we balance these obligations with awareness of what our own needs are. Okay? Does that make sense? We absolutely have to make sure that our own needs are being met as well. Okay? So I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to do that today. And we're just going to get right into it. All right. Now, before I get into it, I have a couple more comments in here. So Rochelle says, that makes sense. Once I gave up giving presents, it became less stressful for me. Yes. And I mean, the holidays do not have to be all about the presents at all, right? And unfortunately, that's what media kind of puts on us as pressure. You know, the TV commercials, as soon as you go in the mall, I mean, heck, as soon as those Halloween decorations are put away, it's just like boom, 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 everything Christmas. But if you can take the expectations off and release the pressure, you can really start to get grounded as to what is important to you over the holidays. And like I said, I'm going to show you how in today's live episode. Okay, so you're ready to do this? Ready to get into this chat before the holidays get cuckoo crazy and before you get your tinsel in a tangle? Let's do it, okay? So, first and foremost, okay, the reason behind why you have felt depleted and burnt out and possibly even a little bit resentful in past years, I'm going to tell you why. And it has to do with a lot of the things that I already explained from an example, but I also want to share what you can do instead, okay? So if you rated your stress and overwhelm anything higher than an 8 or higher, when I asked you earlier to share, then I want you to think about this, okay? I want you to think about what could have maybe caused that overwhelm for you in past holidays, okay? Hi, Donna. Thanks for joining. You love my words. Oh, good. Well, I'm just about to get going here. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun episode. So I want you to think about what might have caused you to feel this overwhelm in past holidays, okay? Because here's the thing. Being the extreme perfectionist that I was during past holidays, like I said, I put a ton of pressure on myself to do all of the things, like wrap the perfect presents, okay? I had to have the perfect bows, I had to be super shiny, I had the prettiest wrapping paper, I had to be super strategic of how I wrapped, I couldn't have any little tears, it all had to be super straight. Perfectionist. I also had to bake the best ever holiday cookies for like 10 plus friends. Not to mention that I baked like 6 to 8 different types of cookies. Loony, like why? I would also spend heaps, and I mean heaps of money on gifts to show that I quote unquote cared, like Rochelle said, feeling that pressure. And you know, it was that I wanted to prove to everyone that I was financially successful, even though I was actually just putting all this crap on my credit card and then going into debt at the same time. So it was just like I was trying to prove to everyone, but meanwhile it was like, no, it was not even making sense why I was doing that. It wasn't even cool at all. Or if I wasn't doing any of those things for the holidays, I was trying to stick to this perfect diet and would spend hours upon hours before the actual holiday even began, meal prepping all of the foods that I would bring with me to Christmas dinner. Like, I wouldn't even participate in dinner with everyone else because I was so stressed and overwhelmed about going off track over the holidays that I would prepare like chicken and broccoli and rice in like Tupperware containers and bring that with me to the holiday dinner. Like, how fun is that? That's a lot of joy. No, it was not. And if I was not doing that, then I was completely going overboard and binging on all the naughty foods, aka like specialty coffees and shortbread cookies and Lindor chocolates. Anyone else? Anyone else? Yeah. So it's safe to say that I was feeling pressured, and I felt like there was this expectation by not only my friends and family, but also by me. I was putting these expectations on myself, right? To give all the best gifts and to prepare in all the best ways because I wanted people and I wanted to see myself in a certain way, right? And I wanted also to give all my time and energy to everyone else. But I can only do so much. There's only so much of me to go around. And I had to think about what filled me up. And that's going to bring me to my next point. Okay? That's going to bring me to my next point. But here's the thing. Before we get into that, I want to say that operating on these obligations alone and trying to please everyone else's expectations, including those that are created by your own inner critic, that's going to lead you to feeling resentful and burnt out, okay? Just like the long list of expectations that we feel that we need to be in order to be beautiful and accepted by society, we have to toss out all of those predetermined lists and think about and let go of what we have to do over the holidays, okay? We have to get rid of these predetermined lists. We have to let them go because we don't need to be anything than what we already are. Same as feeling the pressure to be a certain way in society, to look a certain way, and to act a certain way, right? So rather than focusing solely on planning the perfect dinner or getting the perfect gift, I want you to instead observe how these expectations affect you. Okay? So when you are feeling this uncomfortableness within you, I want you to stop and just think, okay, how are these expectations affecting me? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling yucky? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling stressed? And then I want you to make a decision, okay? So just make sure that you're taking the time and the space that you need to nourish yourself in the meantime, okay? And I'm going to be sharing more about this. But first, let's jump into the comments and see what's going on in here. So, okay, so Rochelle says, sounds like my grandma. I strive to be her for a long time. And yeah, that's the thing, Rochelle. Thank you for mentioning that, because sometimes we have these role models in our families that have set these expectations and we want to live up to that, right? And oftentimes it's that, especially for women, it's that role of, hey, I have to keep up. I have to keep up with these traditions. I have to be just like my mom. Everything has to be perfect. My mom made the perfect stuffing. My mom made the perfect desserts. I need to do that. Or my grandma, right? So we often feel these pressures by past traditions that we need to live up to. But here's the thing. We can create our own traditions. And how fun is that? How fun is that we can create our own traditions, right? And then Donna says, once we let go of any expectation, we can truly live. Yes. And that comes in all different shapes and forms, right? That comes in all different shapes and forms for expectations. So we have to be present of that and really just pay attention. Okay, what's going on here? How am I feeling? And how are these obligations making me feel? And is this something that I want to participate in? Because we have the power to tune in and ask ourselves those questions, right? Good. Okay. So to bring us to the next point, like I said, we have to be able to get present and tune in, right? So that brings me to the next step. So what can we actually do to get present in any given moment? What can we do to get present in any given moment? Okay. So how often would you say that you check in and ask yourself what you need and how you're doing? How are you feeling? Drop your answers in the comment section below and let me know how often you're actually checking in to ask yourself these questions. Because as disconnected eaters, I'm sure if you're here and you're joining in on this conversation, you've had some sort of struggle with food in your body. And as disconnected eaters, this can be a real struggle to tune in and ask ourselves what's up, because oftentimes we forget that this is even an option. And usually this is why we have kept turning to food over and over and over again to fill ourselves back up, because we're constantly feeling depleted. We're not allowing ourselves the time to ask ourselves what we need. So we're gravitating to the quick and easy fix, which is often food, right? So that tends to be what happens. So Rochelle says, yeah, never has she ever really done that. And that's so incredibly important, right? Especially for you women who are feelers, like I know I am. We get emotionally and energetically drained so quickly, and we're oftentimes people pleasers as well. So that's especially important that we check in and tune in more often, and even more so during the holiday season. Even more so during the holiday season. Okay? Because the truth is we're being pulled in so many directions during this time of year, right? So it's really important that we check in with ourselves more regularly during this time of year. Okay? So start by asking yourself what you want or need. It can be that simple. Like, what do I want or need right now? Okay? And something I did when I was first getting started with this, because I never thought that I even had the option of asking myself what I wanted or needed. So something that I would do is I would actually set alarms on my phone. And about 3 to 4 times a day, I would have that alarm go off, and it would just ask the simple question of, what does Sarah need right now? And I would stop and I would just be like, what do I need right now? Sometimes it was like, go drink some water. Sometimes it was, go to the bathroom. Why are you working and working and working when you have to go to the bathroom? Right? Like, how many times has anyone done that? Sometimes it's like, you need to like shut off your computer and go and watch a show, like binge watch a show that you haven't watched in a little while. Sometimes it's, I need to get out in nature and just, shut off all the noise and get out in nature and go for a walk. Sometimes it's that I need to call a friend, I need to call my mom, right? But unless you have those little reminders, those little alarms, when you're first getting started, it could be challenging for you to get tuned in and to connect. So I challenge you to set those little alarms on your phone. We all have our smartphones with us at all times, and just start asking yourself, what do you need in that moment? Okay? You could also write this down in a journal. Okay, so what does Sarah need right now? Or what do you need right now? And then just start free writing. Just free flow writing until the answer comes up that feels good for you. Okay, until you get to the bottom of what it is that you need in that moment, right? I mean, if you think about it too, I just thought of this. If you think about it, as children, as kids, we tune in with what we need all of the time. We're always whining to our parents about what we need, right? I need this toy. I need this. I need a nap. I need this. Like, we are constantly always asking our loved ones about, telling our loved ones what we need. Or as kids, we just give it to ourselves, right? But as we get older, we think that we have to do things or that we don't have a choice. But the truth is we do have a choice, and there's always a workaround. There's always a way that we can make it happen, okay? So be sure that you're asking these questions so that you can care and nourish and honor yourself, okay? This is one of the best things that I definitely have learned to do for myself, and I've noticed a huge difference in how I care for myself now versus putting the pressure on like I used to, okay? All right, so let's see here what you guys have been saying. So you like the idea of the alarms? Okay, cool, perfect. Donna needs coffee. Yeah, sometimes it's what a girl needs. She's got to get it, right? Free flow writing is a good idea. Yes, it is. I find that it's very helpful if you're just needing to get to the bottom. Sometimes it's just like that release of just dumping it all on paper. So remember to just write without judgment. You could even doodle. It does not matter. It doesn't have to have a structure. Just free flow write and see what comes up for you. Remember when we were little girls and we used to write in our diaries and we would just write and write and write and write and write? And all of the things that used to come up, it's the same thing. That's what I want you guys to start doing, is to free flow and see what your soul actually needs there, okay? Especially during this time of year. So other than checking in and tuning in regularly to see what you want and asking yourself that question, there are also things that you need to be doing in order to recharge your batteries during this time of year. And really, that's taking the time to honor your body, relax, or do feel good, fun activities. Okay? Feel good, fun activities. Yes, you are allowed to do that. Permission granted. There you go. You can go do it. So tell me honestly, would you say that you honor your own needs before the needs of others, especially during the holidays? Would you say that you honor your own needs before the needs of others? Yes or no? Hit me up in the comments. So I know, because let's be honest, if you are needing to reconnect with food and your body, I know that you've heard before that you cannot pour from an empty cup and that self-care is important. I know that you have heard that, right? But I'm here to remind you that it's just simply not possible. You cannot give if you do not have anything left. That's just the truth. You can't give if you've never had anything left, right? Okay? So it looks like no one here. So Rochelle does not put herself first before others during the holiday season. Donna doesn't either. And John says, I'm starting to honor my own needs. Bless your heart, Don. I am so glad that you're taking that time. I'm so glad. And I mean, it's not easy. It's going to take work. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy. But if there's any time to do it, now is the time. And I want you to start putting these things into practice so that way you can start to pay attention to how you feel, especially during this time of year. And then you can go into the new year with that sort of attitude. Okay, versus feeling depleted by the time the holiday season comes to an end, and then feeling like you have to do all the things as soon as it's January 1st, all the diets, all the workouts, all of this. No. Let's not get on to the weight loss holiday bandwagon, please. And let's start doing simple things right now during the holidays, the time that we need it the most, okay? So please put these 4 things at the top of your to-do list, okay? I'm going to break them down for you. Are we ready? Number 1, get yourself regular sleep. Sleep is going to be so incredibly important during this time of year, okay? And I want you to try to aim for like 6 to 8 hours a night if possible, okay? 6 to 8 hours a night. So think about, okay, what time would I need to go to bed and what time do I have to wake up? And then make sure that you're allowing for that 6 to 8 hours. Something that's really helped me in the past too, because I've struggled with sleep, is to shut off your electronics at least 30 minutes before bed, okay? Because those screens, they keep you in that like reactive mode. It keeps your eyes focused, and you want to start to get into those sleeping patterns. We want to turn off the stimulation. Okay, so try to turn off your electronics at least 30 minutes before bed if you can, okay? And finally, try to create a bedtime ritual. If you don't already have a bedtime ritual, start to think about what a dreamy bedtime ritual would look like. So maybe you're shutting your computer off 30 minutes before you go to bed, and in that 30 minutes, maybe you're making a sleepy time tea, or maybe you are doing some journaling on the couch to see how you felt that day. Or maybe you are meditating for like 5 to 10 minutes. Whatever it is that feels good to you, whatever helps you to kind of relax and unwind, that's what I want you to focus on. Okay? The next thing, number 2, out of the things that I really want you to focus on to add to your self-care list during the holiday season is to move your body. Move your body, okay? However, with that being said, I want you to start experimenting with activities that feel good to you. Only activities that feel fun, they feel light, they feel enjoyable, activities you're excited to show up for, okay? If the gym is not feeling good to you and you don't like going there and you feel awkward and you feel uncomfortable and you don't have fun and you just are forcing yourself to go, then don't do that, because that's going to be really hard to show up for, right? And we want to make sure that we're making these self-care rituals a routine and that we're sticking with them and we're consistent. So don't do the things that feel yucky. Okay. Instead, maybe you do what I've been doing. I've just been doing yoga or Pilates or even Zumba, depending how intense I want my workout to be, just in my living room on YouTube. I mean, we have the joys of the internet. We have so many incredible resources out there. Why not take advantage of that, right? Take advantage. So it also helps, if you are living in Canada, I know not everyone here is, but if you are living in Canada, once that bad weather gets cooking, you may want to avoid driving and going somewhere to get activity in. So no excuses. If you're just doing it at home, then you don't have to say, oh, the weather's not good, there's ice on the roads, black ice, I can't make it. You can do it because it's just in your own comfort of your own home. Okay? So it's, what did Rochelle say here? She said skating. Yeah, I love the idea of skating. That's a great one, Rochelle. I used to do figure skating when I was young for a couple years, and I have not pulled out my ice skates in, oh my God, I want to say like 15 years, maybe even more. And my mom found my old skates, and she was like, you should go skating. Like, you should go skating, because they have a rink up here in Uptown Waterloo. She's like, you and your forever guy, Johnny, should go skating. And I was like, oh my God, yes, that sounds like so much fun. So I'm going to dust off my old skates. I'm going to get them sharpened. And that's definitely going to be one of the activities added to my self-care routine during the holidays. So thanks for mentioning that, Rochelle. That's a great one. It's a really, really great one. All right, so that was movement. So we said get regular sleep, number 1. Number 2, move your body. Number 3, I want you to eat nourishing foods that work for you. Okay? Let me repeat that. I want you to eat nourishing foods that work for you. Okay? So, best way to do this, write out a list of your top 10 favorite foods that work for you and also make you feel amazing, okay? So maybe it is kale. Maybe every time you eat green leafy kale, you feel amazing. You feel energized. You feel recharged. You feel nourished. Maybe you feel amazing when you eat dark chocolate. Maybe that just like is a nice bit of pleasure. You feel really good from it because you don't feel like you've been restricting yourself. So maybe that's something that feels really good to you. Or maybe it's that in the mornings you really love your smoothies because they're quick and easy and you know you're getting packed full of vitamins and minerals in there, but they also taste really good. They taste like a treat. So I want you to write down 10 of your favorite foods that work for you, and I want you to spend maybe one day a week cooking up your favorite staple items. So you can just whip them up and have all these nourishing meals ready and available to you when you get busy during this time of year. Because let's not even pretend that we're not going to get busy. We are. So it's good to have these options ready and available. I mean, for me, like quinoa makes me feel really full, and it's like a nice and easy grain that I can digest. So I cook up like a massive thing of quinoa, and I just keep it in the fridge, and then I just warm it up, and then just cook it with some veggies, and that's always really easy to have this time of year. So find your staple items, find the things that work really well for you, make sure that you're keeping them on hand in the house and that they're ready to grab and go, so that way when you do get busy, they're there for you, okay? And the better you eat during this time of year, and you ask your body how she wants to feel, the better your body's going to respond to all this busyness that the holiday is going to bring. Okay, so remember that. Remember to work with your body versus against it. Don't punish her for things that you're wanting during this time of year. It is a decadent time of year. It is a time of pleasure. But just make sure you're tuning in again and asking, like, what does my body need right now? What does Sarah actually need right now? Okay, so definitely just be sure to have that connection with the body. Don't shut her out and ask her what she's really wanting. And especially if you're asking her how she wants to feel, if you ask her how she wants to feel, chances are you're going to gravitate towards those foods that are going to make you feel that way. Okay? So Rochelle says couscous is easy and I love it. That's a great one. That's like quinoa for me. You can throw it with any meal. It tastes really good. It's satisfying. It's a really good one, Rochelle. Donna says apple pie, mind you, not a staple, just a treat. And hey, that's totally cool too, Donna. You want to have apple pie when you need it, when you need that like joy or pleasure, fine. But if the apple pie is making you feel bloated and uncomfortable, or it makes you eat in a way that doesn't feel connected, then don't do it, right? It's all about what makes you feel the way you want to feel. So ask yourself, how do I want to feel this holiday season? And then try to eat foods that embody that feeling. Okay? Does that make sense? So we've got the sleep, we've got the movement, we've got the foods. Now last and finally, take the time to do relaxing things that help you to recharge or do things that are fun. Okay? We are not these super prim and proper, boring adults. We do not need to be like that. We can be fun. We can have play in our lives, okay? So promise yourself that by a certain time in the day, you will relax, okay? You will put the wrapping aside. You will put the cleaning aside. You will put the work aside. You will let the kids know that, hey, it is fun time. Okay, we're going to do something fun with the family or for yourself, whatever that means for you, okay? But use up the fact that you deserve to relax, okay? Know that you deserve to relax. And maybe relaxation is going to look different for you than someone else, and that's cool. I mean, maybe relaxation for you is using up the rest of your benefits and taking yourself for a massage, a 60-minute massage one time a week until the end of the year because you want to use up those benefits. Maybe it is simply just reading for like 15, 20 minutes with a book on your sofa. Maybe it's crocheting. Maybe it is playing outside with the kids. Maybe it's getting your nails done. Maybe it's taking a walk in nature, right? And crunching around in the snow for when it finally gets here because it hasn't snowed yet in Ontario. But really, it's whatever fun and relaxation means to you, and that's going to look different for everybody. So maybe you could create a list of 5 to 10 things that feels fun and relaxing during the holidays as well, because then you can use that with your food list and kind of look and say, okay, these are the things I really want to make a priority, and schedule them into your calendar. Make sure you don't just like say, oh yeah, I'll do them. Put them in there. Make sure that you prioritize you, okay? So taking care of yourself allows you to be able to be more attentive and calmer when you're with others during the holidays. And that's what this is really about, isn't it? It's about being more present. It's about being more calm. And it's about giving your full attention to the ones you care about during the holidays. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about active listening during the holidays to take the attention off the food. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be in about 2 weeks' time. But I really want you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself and being kinder and more present during the holidays, because this is really what the spirit of the holidays are all about after all, okay? So Rochelle had said you can do number 4 with people. Yes, completely. You can have fun and relax with people that you love. Absolutely. It's why I mentioned doing it with your kids or doing it with your loved ones. You don't have to do it by yourself. And then if you're making the time for that self-care and that relaxation, you're also being present with the ones that you care about as you're leading up to the holidays too. So it doesn't have to just be on that day. Okay? So who's with me? Who here wants to actually remove the overwhelm and feel Zen AF during the holidays this year? Give me a hell yes in the comments if you are down with that, if you're feeling me, if you do not want to get your tinsel in a tangle this year, because that's how I felt in so many years and I just refuse to do it. If you're ready to just feel super groovy, hit me in the comments with a hell yes. Yep, we're ready. we got some yeps here. Time to get groovy. Okay, I thought so. Hell yes. Got a hell yes with the Christmas tree. Hell yes with the Christmas tree from Dawn. And I thought so. I thought you guys would, because ultimately I think that's what we all really want, right? We're all looking for connection. We're all looking for joy. We're looking to feel grounded. None of us want to be all over the place and living in the clouds and feeling in this reaction mode all the time, right? So if you are wanting to feel more grounded and centered and present during the holiday season, or if you're ready to connect with yourself in a way that feels good and groovy and just more like you during this time of year, then I think you could really benefit from a 10-minute guided holiday meditation that I created for you. It's super light, it's fun, it's for beginners. If you've never meditated before, I think it'll be really easy for you to get into it. And I created this to just be a quick 10-minute meditation that you can just pop on your phone, put it into your earbuds, and just listen to as you're gearing up for the holidays to remind you of all the things that you want to feel before things start to get crazy, okay? So I'm going to be adding the link to grab that 10-minute meditation in the description on Facebook. If you're watching on Instagram, I'm going to be adding the link for that in my bio. So have a look out for that, but I really think it was going to help you to get more grounded and groovy over the holidays. If you're looking for some support over the holidays, if you are looking for people to stand by you and help support you with the food and the overwhelm and the chaos and the in-laws and the family and all of the things, then you may want to join one of my favorite places to hang out online, which is Turn Up the Love Insiders Facebook group. It's totally free to join. And you can hit it up by going to facebook.com/groups/Turn Up the Love Insiders. And we'd be happy to help support you there. Otherwise, you can always join me for the rest of the series that I'm going to be doing every single week on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going live talking to you about ways that you can get mindful over the holiday season. All right, you guys, that's all for me today. I have hoped that this has been helpful and that you gained some amazing takeaways and insights from this, and that you can start to reflect on how you want to feel over this holiday season and feel super groovy and vibey so you can eliminate that overwhelm chaos. Thanks so much, you guys. I will chat with you guys next week. See you then.